Hi, this is Eva for Once Upon a Timeline. Welcome to Midnight Mandela. How is everybody doing today? So, I have to agree with Shari. I do feel that that shift that was like last week was a pretty big one. I am finding a lot of changes. Mandela's all of a sudden. I didn't even look that hard. People are finding a lot of stuff. The other thing we're really still noticing is things are changing like yesterday. Like you do something and then yesterday it's different. So this is kind of a good example I'm going to start off with. Oh, and I was just going to say, Shari, that's an interest. I was looking through the stories over here on the side. So you had a building change that even your husband couldn't deny. I'm like, wonder how long you have to chip at him before he finally cracks just a little bit on the Mandela. So I've been kind of thirsty today. Have to forgive me. I'm going to do some slurping on the water here and there. I'm curious, kind of curious now. Like he just was like, didn't want to talk or what. It's like that's kind of been my experience when people don't want to see the Mandela and then there's something they just can't explain, so their solution is to just not talk about it ever again. The notification was late, in part my fault because I really need to do at least like an hour early. I have to put this up an hour early because it takes like an hour for notifications to think about showing up. And I only gave like a half hour today. I don't know. I just lost track of time. I swear time has sped up. And it was this week. I was just thinking the last few weeks I talked about how the time zone shifted. I don't know if I talked about this last week, but I'm thinking, the earth has got to be smaller now. And that's why the time zone's got to move, because if the earth is smaller, then the land mass, well, I don't say they don't have to move. If everything shrank exactly the same as when the earth shrinks, but it doesn't seem like that happens. But basically, if you're taking up a little bit more percentage of the earth now, like say the United States, then the time zone will look fatter on there. And they'll be like, I don't know I'm just not explaining things good. But anyways, I'm just thinking that time zone shift was indicative of like the lines had to move because the earth shrank a bit. And it does feel like time sped up even more. It's like, it's hard not to be late because I'm thinking, 15 minutes, that's enough time to get somewhere, to get ready to go. And then it's not enough time anymore. It used to be plenty of time, and now it's like, I just did 5 minutes of stuff, and 20 minutes later, time zone shifted on my 49ers away game. Usually East Coast games start at 10 p.m. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think you were saying it was way different, though. It wasn't like 1 hour, so I'm not sure. You'd have to check on that, because, maybe it was always at that time now, No, maps can be, they all say the same thing, so I do think that there's something going on, because the two people that I was talking with, they also are now seeing a 2-hour difference between me and them versus a 3-hour difference. And all three of us agree that it was a 3-hour difference between me and those two. Those two are in the same time zone. And so, they even like last week, they were like, one of them was like, your show is in 5 minutes. You better go. And I'm like, no, it's in an hour and 5 minutes because of that. Enough time to get every version of you to synchronize. Yeah, I don't know. That is the other thing. I do think that some of the people I've been chatting with, there's indications that, they're another version again. Just like weird little personality things. I've always done that. I'm like, I've never seen it. And of course, to them, I might be different, but it doesn't seem like I have a lot of variation across timelines. So it's harder for them to notice me changing. What'll happen is I'll be like, I never heard you say that. And then they'll go, well, then from their perspective, I must be new. But it's rare for them to say anything about me. And I don't know if maybe they're just not paying that much attention, but none of them ever went, what are you talking about? The old Eva used to smoke cigarettes or something. That just doesn't seem to happen from my end. Can't believe how fast this week went. Yeah, that has been another thing. One version is plenty. Well, we only get one version at a time anyways. Yeah, so when the actual time zones shifted, I think that might be an indicator each time that maybe we have a little bit more earth shrinkage. That is my guess. So I'll watch for those. And again, that one happened right when the time zone officially shifted. But somehow, even though we're all supposed to shift together, we're no longer 3 hours apart. So I just think it's really interesting that maybe I should watch. I really should, if I remember, next time we have a time zone, official time zone shift, to look at the time zone map and really look at it the day before and really look at it the day after and see if I can catch one of these in the act. Because I've gotten really suspicious that all this daylight savings time and blah, blah, blah is kind of hiding a little bit of funny business. You don't do that. Those are bad. Renee, smoke marijuana. Nope. You know what? I don't do good with marijuana. I don't need to get sleepy. So I don't know. I mean, it's just not, it doesn't give me anything I need. I don't think I have more of a problem with sleepiness than I do with extra anxiety. So I don't think it helps me. I noticed changes on my body like birthmarks and eye color changes 20 plus years ago. Yeah, I think for me, I noticed it more in the last 5 years. In fact, that is one of the things the last few days I see myself on camera fairly often since I started this show, which has been a number of years. But I feel like there's been some change in my face, here. Because when I turn my head to the side now, I feel, it just looks kind of chipmunky or something. I don't know. It's just I can't say I love this particular change. I mean, there's sometimes when the cheekbones went up, I thought that looked better, but this one's not really my favorite. It kind of feels like I'm getting, over time, my face is getting flat. It's like the nose is pushed in and there's more, you see people with these deep lines now here that didn't used to be so much of a thing. And I'm starting to get them. First, I saw a friend of mine had it, and I kept looking at her during dinner because I was like, I see her every week, so there shouldn't be a huge change. But I kept looking at her face, going, why are those lines there? And then pretty soon I started getting them. So I don't think I love those, but it could be worse. I was thinking of trying CBD with no THC for joint aches. I haven't really tried it. I did get some CBD oil and tried it on my knees because my knees used to be kind of creaky, and it does something. The knees stop hurting for a little bit. It helps, but it's not fixing them. It just seems like, okay, then later they'll start hurting again. I wouldn't say it doesn't seem to be hurting anything, but what I found that really helped for joint aches, knees and stuff was glycine, because I think a lot of people just don't get enough. That's it's a conditionally required amino in that we're supposed to be able to make our own, but we don't make that much ourselves. And used to be you'd get it from diet a lot more, so we don't get it from, we're not doing bone broths and stuff. Even if you do it once or twice a week, we probably once ate that 2 times a day, and you're just not gonna get that now. So I've just found that glycine amino really helped me. And you can just get the granules and just throw it in a coffee or something. I just slurp some down. I just take a spoonful and I definitely feel a lot better. Yeah, glycine amino. Yeah, I would definitely try it. So way back, somebody, well, a couple years ago, somebody in pickleball said, well, try gelatin. And I'm like, all right. And I did. I started doing the gelatin powder. I think I have some here. Oh, collagen. Yeah, collagen. Okay, let's see if you can see it. I'm so far behind on here. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see it, collagen. And, but you know, like it's a little bit expensive, and my stomach kind of doesn't like it when I eat a lot of this. And by a lot, I mean like the amount recommended daily. And the main reason people are consuming this is because it's loaded with glycine. I think that's like basically the active ingredient, because the rest of it's just proteins. If you eat meat, then you're getting proteins. So I felt like I just cut out the middleman. I'm not saying this is bad, but I just went straight for the glycine itself, and it just seems like that works even better. It's just like the concentrated good stuff, basically. But if you're doing collagen, you are getting a lot of glycine, because that's the main amino in there. So yeah, that, when I started the glycine, first of all, when I really looked at that one, I wasn't taking in like a full dose. I was just taking like a third dose a day, and I did notice it helped. But then when I tried to boost it up to a full dose, my stomach was getting mad at me, and it was just, I don't know, it just wasn't going down that well. So I think the glycine, I can slurp that stuff all day and I have no problems. My stomach doesn't mind it. Weirdly, the granules taste a little bit like, everybody tastes it different, but they tend to be a little like almost like you're eating sugar, like a mild sugary taste for a lot of people. So the glycine is one of those that is not bad tasting. It's surprisingly decent tasting. So definitely recommend. So when I started, like within days, I actually felt, I don't know how to describe it. I just felt like more like sturdy, like, you know, that glycine is needed for all the skin, the all of the tendons, all of that stuff. So if you're low, you're definitely going to feel rickety. And I have a suspicion that we just don't make enough. Also, glycine is often used by the body to detox. Quite a range of chemicals are detoxed by sticking a glycine molecule on it, and then that allows it to be processed out of the system. So you lose a lot of glycine when you're detoxing, and we're all in, not really super pure environment with all the chemicals and stuff. So that might be another reason why a lot of people might be chronically low on glycine. A third reason is because the food that we currently eat as far as meat tends to be muscle meats, and muscle meats tend to be a little low on glycine compared to things we might have eaten historically, like the organ meats and stuff. So also, they suspect there might be a balance with methionine and glycine, like you need to have a certain amount of glycine per methionine, I think that's right. And the muscle meat tends to be high in methionine and low in glycine, at least compared to the preferred ratio. So that also, the Kava Cafe is opening here. Non-Tave. So I do mate a lot. They're all basically light stimulants, so I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but just consider that when you're doing a stimulant, it's basically kind of a band-aid. It's not fixing things. So ideally, we would figure out how to have more energy naturally. I can't say that I've completely solved that issue, but I have made some progress on it. So always looking for improvement. The disease-fighting glands in the back of our throat showed up at the same time as Kobe Bryant 19. Okay, I'm not sure what Kobe Bryant 19 is, but yeah, that wasn't too long ago when those glands showed up, was it? That was just, less than a year. Why is autocorrect changing section to secontion? I've never heard of secontion. Somebody was just telling me the other day that she's noticed on her phone, her spell check, her autocorrect has gotten kind of wacky. So what she's noticing is that she'll type something in and it'll autocorrect to something you wouldn't want to type in there. Like it'll make you sound racist or something. And sometimes the autocorrect isn't even that like close to what you were typing. So I'm not sure if like there's some kind of universal AI that just looks for what is commonly typed the most, and that's what everybody's talking about, and so that's what it's autocorrecting to. Or, she's kind of wondering if it was like to make her look bad, because you know how autocorrect is on the phone. You type, 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 type. If you type a short message and you're going fast, and the autocorrect is slow, so you might be 2 sentences away, and then it autocorrects that word up there. And right when it goes bloop, and makes the autocorrect, your finger is reaching for the send button. And so you can send it, and you didn't want to send that. And so if it's starting to add in pervy sounding words, racist sounding stuff, that can be like really bad if you're sending it to a business associate, your boss, and now you've got that in there. And people have really low tolerance for that these days. So she said she has to like type slow, proofread, then hit send. And you can't just slam on the send button now. At least she can't. So I don't know. I don't know. Is that happening to other people? But luckily I don't have a boss, so people can't really fire me, knock on wood. But yeah, it would not be good. Cayenne pepper does a lot. I just can't tolerate spicy foods, so especially pepper, like the oils, like the South American oils, like cayenne and stuff. I can't tolerate those. It just hurts. Now, interestingly, I am reasonably tolerant to the water-based ones, like horseradish and what's that one they put in sushi? I can do that one. Not in huge amounts, but a lot better. I think that one, those, like if horseradish, if I ate it daily, I think I could get a rapid tolerance too. But I've heard that it kind of degrades your taste buds when you eat spicy food. So I'd rather taste the other tastes. I saw this gummy vitamin that's formulated for skin, hair, and nails. Yeah, I think that was one of the B vitamins. I actually bought one of those, and it didn't do a thing for me. And maybe because I eat meat, I got enough of that. But I had high hopes, and it was like, no. That's kind of like how when you're trying these biological devices, it's like they're like, oh, maybe it's just placebo effect. But frankly, a lot of us find I think because we do it all the time trying things, that placebo effect is greatly diminished, because we'll have high hopes for something and won't do a thing, and then maybe we'll be, well, I'm not sure about this one and it'll work. But if we had placebo effect, I would think that we would have it on the ones we had high hopes for, and I definitely don't see that. Now sometimes I do guess very accurately, but there's been a lot of times where I'm like, I think this is going to be perfect, and I say my text has a mean little leprechaun changing the words. Yeah, see, I don't know what's going on. I just thought of that maybe they do have, it just kind of reads everybody's text and picks the common words, but still, you would think someone would program it in to not put words that could get you fired in autocorrect. Wouldn't that just be kind of a no-brainer? Yeah, exactly. There's a few that might, the thing is, these are obviously words that could get you fired. That's what gets me. It's not just context and stuff. They're bad words. I'm the opposite. I've started liking spicy foods. I have improved my tolerance, definitely, but considering my tolerance was nothing before, so it's still not very good. But again, I didn't want to over push it, because they do say that you lose the ability to taste other foods. Wasabi, yeah, that's it. I can do an alright amount of wasabi. And they taste very similar too. Yeah, I stopped doing Land O'Lakes. I just buy the house butter now. Cinnamon test. Try to swallow a tablespoon of powdered cinnamon without coughing it up. Yeah, I heard about that, but I also heard that some people ended up in the hospital because if you inhale too much cinnamon, I guess it can be quite dangerous. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'll pass on the YouTube challenge there. Once the autocorrect changed a word in someone's official message to a hole, that guy was dying when he found that out. Yeah, I know. It's the thing is that it's not, a lot of times the word's not even close. And I've had it do it a number of times, like on street names or names of people, because it thought they were misspelled, but no, they weren't. They were fine. Yes, I have actually turned mine off, preliminal, my autocorrect. I did eventually figure it out. Kind of slow, but you know what happens also is you fix it and then there'll be an update and now it's back. You weren't being careful because you didn't know it was back. Yeah, see, I don't use those words either. The words that they put on there, I have never typed. I don't believe I have ever typed in a text ever. So it's like, no. But my point is that I'm just thinking maybe the program is predictive across all users, not just myself. Like maybe this is what's being typed, across the lands. I'm just not sure how that works. Maybe the updates, you get the updates and then it's upstates the common usage. Not sure, but everything is so expensive. I've gone back to 100 ways to do ramen. Yeah. I know it's, I don't know what, like poor people, like really poor people, it's got to be really tough because if you have some fat to cut, you could cut it. I could go out and eat less, cooking more home, buy in the cheaper butter and blah, blah. There's some things I'm like, I don't, I'm just not going to do that anymore. But what if you are already very tight? Then there's not that much room to cut. And, it's just trying to eat magnesium-rich foods. Yeah, I just eat the magnesium. There's not enough food in the world to eat all those vitamins, I swear. Live on protein shakes. Yeah, and it is. Well, ours isn't that much natural butter. I just buy the house brand. Like I'm shopping at Food for Less, and their house brand is Kroger. So, what was that? So, like, let me see. I actually have this little fridge here. Oh, this one was a boo-boo because I bought the salt-free, so it ends up getting eaten very slowly. But this one was like, what was it, like $3 or something? It was on sale, so that's what's the total? 1 pound. Yeah, that's the standard amount is 1 pound. But that's Food for Less. Food for Less tends to be cheap, and every location is different. If you don't have a lot of cows in your country, you may end up paying a lot more. Yeah, there's been a lot of Mandelas in that Land O'Lakes lady. Now, they did officially remove the Native American girl, which ironically really pissed off the family because that was done by a Native American artist, and it was his family and their traditional clothing. So it was very appropriate, and yet they got a lot of crap like from ignorant people who didn't know all those things, and so now they don't get to have their historical art on there anymore that was correctly done. An elephant seal poses for the camera. Okay, that's that. What think I've, I was just thinking the other day, it just seems like animals are better at smiling. I've seen so many dogs with this cute little grin, and I just don't remember seeing those 10 years ago. There's a kind of an example. Those little teeth. Do I ever remember seeing like little old man teeth in a seal? Now they do have that big nose, and we've had that on because it does seem to get bigger and bigger. But I don't think I remember the little man. Like it reminds me of that golem creature from that popular movie. I need to get rid of that. There we go. So I'm like one of those paleo kind of historical eater people. So I usually use saturated fat when the old school cool. I like tallow is the one I usually use, or I will use butter, or I use coconut oil. Those are my three. Coconut oil is a little sweet, so it doesn't work for everything. The elephant seal looks like a Restapopoulos from Tintin comics. I don't know that one. Yeah, Aunt Jemima syrup, that's another one. I mean, they went overboard because the family that Aunt Jemima was based after, they're kind of upset. And ironically, you end up with no people of color on anything, so they end up underrepresented. There's no black people on stuff, there's no native people on stuff. Now white people can stay on stuff, right? But not, it kind of, I just feel like it's backfires. It's another example of how it backfires. The Native Americans didn't want that taken off, so why are all I don't know. I mean, I guess there's probably some Native Americans that did, but none of the ones I know wanted that removed. And certainly not the family that drew it and portrayed their relative in there. Yeah, there's been stink about the Quaker Oats guy. I don't know, it was something about being a slave owner or something, but yet he managed to survive the cut. You do have to wonder. So elephant seal. Here we go. All right, I got to pull this down so I can read what I'm writing. So the nose on the elephant seal, I've had them on before. It just gets longer and longer. All right, here we go. It looks like it's getting all bumpy too, actually. What the hell? Hopefully this one will get big enough. It's weirdly bumpy, and I'm not sure what that knob is out on the side. I don't remember that all bumpy like that either. Let's see if we can get. So it I was going to say it looked like it hasn't gotten any longer. This is his nose. His nose has fallen into his mouth. That does look a little longer than last time. Now, the females don't have it, I don't think. This is interesting. Southern elephant seal. So we have more than one kind now. Okay, interesting. So what I remember is just they were like long and bulbous, like that one I just showed before this, but I don't remember it being all like in like these, it looks like intestinal sections. I don't remember seeing that. Wait a minute, what is this? What? No. Oh my gosh. What is this? What is this? Oh my god. So it's got two giant snorkel nose things, like that's different. I have not seen that. It looks like a binocular sitting on his snout. I mean, I can see the utility of that, but that is weird. What is that guy? It just says elephant seals, Australia. Is that some other kind then, or is it the same one that? All right, there's another one. This is the southern ones again. Okay, so this one. All right, so what's new is I see like this giant bump, and then it looks like segments of intestine coming out. It was all smooth before, or at least a lot more smooth than that. So yeah, there's another example of the bumpies. Bumpy, and this bump to here, that has changed. I guess they needed. Whoa, that guy has a long one. Okay, so some of these are longer. I don't think they were this long before. This one goes all the way down. And you can see how that's so inefficient. Like how it's hard to eat when your nose is hanging over your mouth. So of course they write it off as this is to attract the females. Like, why would any female be attracted to having an intestinal turd on your nose? Don't think so. Yeah, see, they've got this dent right here now. So yeah, they've changed. Look at that thing. Okay, here's a good example. This segmenting has, excuse me, definitely changed. I'm gonna definitely got to put that in description. I think they're fighting here, and this one's biting, and that's the eye. But I mean, really, what cartoon character is that based off of? All right, one more. There seems to be quite a bit of variety in them now too. Like, where did that snorkel one come from, though? I just saw the one snorkel guy. I think that was up here. Here. This guy. I want to see if that's like a different kind or what. Oh, there's the image you guys found. This is very helpful. Snorkel man, where are you? So yeah, oh, look at that. It's a big dent. There's a huge dent right there. Is that going to be splitting into something or what? I see. I don't see the snorkel snout one though. Did I miss it? Maybe that one is not fully in the timeline yet. Like, you see it, but then you click there and it's not. Did I skip over it? I don't think I saw it. Just so human noses don't go wacky. Yeah, seriously. What are we evolving into? I mean, you know, this is crazy. And it happens so much. I'll click on the thing. Wait. That wasn't the one I saved. Didn't I have the snorkel guy in there? What happened? Right. There, the snorkel guy is here. That was weird. All right, now if I click on this, no, I still go back to the same place. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That's interesting. So I click on here, then I click on visit. I go all through there. It's not there. And then I backspace, and now I just have this guy, which is up here. It is not this guy. They're both Getty images. So this guy apparently has been removed and replaced by this, but it is still in the Brave search. He's the only one with snorkel snout, though. So maybe it's a coming, because I've definitely had this happen before, and there'll be this weird one-off with you can't chase down. Here's a classic example of how you can't chase down. And then later, there'll be like more and more of them. Something's up with that. All right, so snorkel snout is out. We're evolving into sloths. Yeah, so what have I seen? Okay. The cheekbones have come up. We talked a lot about that many years ago. The nose is pushed more in, so there's more of this like it's like a hamster cheek out the side with the deeper lines here. The back of the head is getting bigger, and I think they're just more brain in general. What else? Oh, the eyes have sunk back further. They have the bone back there. My eyes used to bug out. Now they're like sunk back. I did like that change, and I like the cheekbone change. The difference between the two sexes are much less now. It's definitely harder to tell. I think that's the main ones. Oh, here, the jaw here is definitely bigger. There's like a huge mandible thing, and the muscle going up into here is definitely bigger. Yeah, I switched it to live chat, so I'm good girl. I switched it right in the beginning. It's a miracle. So that's the main changes I've noticed for the face and the head. I'm not sure, like, so this big old chewing mandible, that's logical, just makes you stronger. The back of the brain is more protected with that bone. The eyes are more protected by being back in. The other thing I've kind of noticed is I just feel like less of the eye is visible. Basically, the black circle in the middle is visible now, and the rest is kind of hidden. So it's just a little bit more slitty-eyed, I think, than we used to be. Again, it's somewhat logical because the eye is more protected, but... Brian Staveley's town was in an episode of Twilight Zone. I do remember him talking about the change in the spelling of Centerville. And that was an interesting video. I mean, I think that was early on in his Emmy career, so he was like pretty shocked. Can't blame him. Oh, yeah, there's that weird little bone thing that, like, hangs down back there. You can't really see it unless you look at the skull, but... I think I might have been the first one to see that one. I had not heard anybody else notice that one. That was many years ago. Sagantian is the wrong writing for second. Secondment? Second. You know, I have noticed just some new words showing up. Interestingly, it seems like words are getting longer and more complicated. Like, there used to be a short word and they're like... But they're words I've never heard before. I mean, where did they come from? You know? Is that even a word? No, it defaults to condition. Second, it does not appear to be a word. It doesn't look like a word. Secondment. What is a secondment? Secondment? Secondment is the detachment of a person from his regular organization for temporary assignment elsewhere. Secondment. Is that commonly used? Because I've never heard that one either. Secondment, sometimes referred to as employer of record or professional employer organization, can also be used to help organizations hire during a headcount freeze. Some businesses use it as a solution to enter into new markets. Secondment. What? If you're not familiar with the term secondment, you're not alone. Despite its esoteric vibe, the concept is easy. A secondment, sometimes referred to as job rotation, is a chance for an employee to temporarily work in a different team within their organization. Oh, okay, okay, got it. I don't know. I mean, maybe they just don't use that word around here, but I've not heard of it. That's exactly an example. Like what? So, I mean, like if, like say Gen Z comes up with a new word and says, okay, no cap, or, oh, don't be such a main character, or whatever. And if there's any Z out here, I hope you just cringed because I use your words. But, if that happens, okay, well, that's normal. You know, the youngest generation is always coming up with crazy new words. But if suddenly this word shows up and everybody's like, oh, yeah, we've always used it, then I'm like, no, 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 no. They were selling their record player car stereos in Centerville. It is very common for me to be suspicious that we're getting trolled by the Mandela, or maybe it's some kind of indication of manifestation, like you make a joke about something and then it happens, or is it just like some kind of precognitive, like we can sense that in the airwaves and so we think of it and then we were just, predicting basically. Did we make it or did we predict it? Maybe in England. Thomas has never heard secondment. Anybody in England ever heard of secondment? Australia? Maybe there's something to unified code theory. I've heard of unified field theory, so I'm assuming code theory is kind of similar. Renee, you saw weird UFO thingy went behind buildings. I think a lot of us have seen weird stuff in the sky. Then you're like, okay, is that us? Is it aliens? Is it a hologram? Sometimes it could be weird weather phenomena. A lot of times it's definitely not, though. Generations from me are every 5 years. Yeah, they usually split them, I think, into 10 to 15 years, but... Parallel Earth. Yeah, I don't know on that. I mean, like, if there's timelines, then it's kind of hard for my brain to totally grok the parallel Earth thing unless you're kind of maybe dividing the stream and some of us are going that way and some of us are going that way. But there wouldn't be anybody going down the middle? I don't know. I mean, how are you going to even know? All these theories and people are out there going, this is how it is. How do you know? Like, it's all narratives. Maybe we just pick the narrative we like and then we do go there. We go to the one we picked. Okay, so speaking of Mandela effects that happen like in tight time frames, this one is kind of a pretty good example. Who found this one? Are you telling me to write it down? Ah, yes. This was The Logical Danger. Found this one, so thank you. I saw this too. So Kissinger died on November 29th, 2023, in the current timeline, and which was like last week. And yes, I did notice, we were actually chit-chatting on our little chat group, and then somebody goes, oh, and Kissinger died today, and good riddance, and I'm like, so we just were like chatting about it, okay. And the chat was like this, like, JoJo's is like, yeah, he only made it to 99. Somehow she just thought it was kind of weird that he didn't make it to 100, like a nice even number. And then we're like, yeah, that's like Betty White only made it to 99. And so we're just kind of, I don't know, vaguely yammering about it. But then I check my messages and the logical danger is like, Kissinger died at 100. Well, I had looked when somebody said Kissinger died, I did a Google and like all of them said dead at 99, dead at 99. Like all of these many articles all over all said 99. So, I mean, like, I guess there's a slim chance that like Reuters got it wrong and everybody copied. But even if that happened, like, I don't think so many of them would have fixed their writing to change it to 100. I think some of them would have, but I don't think like 99.99% of them would. So basically now it says he's dead. Was dead at 100. Like the 99 is gone. Logical Dangers noticed it. When he said that, I was like, no, he did die at 99. And then I look, and no, he died at 100. So I type in died at 99, and there was like one. Let me see if I can find here. One. All the others say 100, or if they do mention 99, they are talking about him like he's still alive. Like, oh, he's still doing this and this at 99. Okay, so this is the only one I was able to find right here that says died at 99, dies age 90. This was all of them before. Actually, is this like... He looks pretty young there. I mean, he does kind of look like he's in a casket there, doesn't he, though? Henry died today. On this day, that means Kissinger lived for 36,470 days. It's ironic that they typed it all out, and apparently they are wrong now. So I'm trying to figure out how that works, but I guess he must have been born a year earlier, or enough of a year earlier so that his, like maybe 6 months earlier or something, so that the date would make him 100. And it was 99 last week. I'm just really skeptical that if it wasn't a shift, I would have thought that I could find more of these articles where it says 99. This one was at April 1st. News April 1st? But that wasn't when he died. Oh, this is an April Fool's Day one. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. So even this is a joke one. Oh my God. Now I feel so trolled. Oh my God. Because he died a week ago, didn't I? Oh my God. I am so trolled. So the only one that now shows him 99 is an April Fool's Day joke. No wonder he looks all young and okay. I was like, oh my God. I was trolled. I was literally trolled by the real world and the Mandela world. Oh my God. Well, you caught me. I got it big time. Okay, so then if that one's not legit, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. All of the rest of them are correct. That one is also correct because it is a troll. It's a joke. It's not meant to be real. Oh my God. What are the odds? Okay, so I can't find any that said he died at 99 other than the giant troll. Okay, here's one, age 99. This was April 1st also. I wonder if that's the same one. That better not be the same one. I mean, maybe it better be. Okay, that's the same one and he copied it. Okay. So again, another joke one. Twitter account is tired of waiting. Yeah, there's nothing other than the giant troll. Oh my God. I got so trolled. Well, that explains why I thought he died earlier this year. Interesting. Okay. Phil was 90. Who's Phil? Did somebody named Phil die? I don't know. No, it was definitely Kissinger. I have absolutely no doubt. It was just last week. We didn't just talk about, we talked about his history and what he did and oh my God, blah, blah. He just, he's not a very popular person, let's just say. There was some dancing in the aisles. We were talking about him in comparisons with what's happening in Palestine, etc., etc. mean, we're kind of like, did he die before? I don't remember him dying before, but certainly we haven't heard of him in a long time, which is one of the kind of standards for Mandelas. But I personally can't say it was a Mandela as far as dying sooner, but now it's the age. The thing is, that was just last week. All right, let's see. So that was a double troll. All right. Now this one's an interesting one. I ran into it. I'm pretty sure this one was mine, right? Free. Oh, no. This was, yeah, I ran into it, but I ran into it on Retconned. And so it was by username Bear, B-E-A-R, Bear 9999. Good find. All right. Owner freaks out when her chickens freeze. Okay, so somebody we know recently kind of freaked out about this because it happened to one of her chickens. And I have to admit, I didn't really, get it when she said that one of her chickens just kind of went and froze, and then the other chickens ran under a bush and then kind of froze. But I think I kind of thought, you know when a dog is scared and they just sort of go ooh, and then they're frozen, but they're kind of frozen in this sucked in position, scared and, So when she said that her chicken froze, I thought it just meant oh crap, I don't know what to do. But no, apparently it was more like this. And this was just a few weeks ago or something that she was saying this. That they froze like somebody stopped time, which is a different kind of freezing. So hopefully I can get through this without getting a copyright. Stop it. All right, first I'm going to turn off the sound and make it larger. Let's jump forward to the fun part. I think they have it. All right. So basically, they freeze all right, they're blah, 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 talking. She's counting them. They kind of run. Wait, when does it start? Then they freeze. Freeze. So you see, they were walking like this, and then their feet were they're okay. So some people thought maybe this was fake, okay, because they don't see her touching them or anything. But there's a couple reasons why I don't think so. One is because My Life DIY was talking about her chicken doing it, and like I said, I didn't quite get what she meant, but now I'm getting it. Okay. They're frozen like some kind of supernatural movie Frozen. And apparently if you go around and read on these, there's a bunch of people saying that's normal behavior for chickens. They do this freezing, but it's not playing dead. The thing is, my mother had pet chickens. They would run around. We had them running around all the time. There were some in cages, some were free running. We try to get the free running ones back in the cages by dark. I've never seen this. And we've definitely had ones that were really scared. And I mean, I've had to catch them before, which involves chasing them all over Dodge and back sometimes and cornering them. And we used to herd them into this one side alley where there was a really tall fence on both sides, and then would try to flop a towel on them or something, and they would fly up and it'd be okay, they never froze. They just never ever froze. They would run under stuff and hide. They would flap up into trees and escape, but they never froze ever. And then there's people on here saying, oh, this is normal. So My Life, I'm going to have to ask her how long she's had chickens. I mean, I know she's had them a while, and she had never seen that before. Well, I guess I was kind of well, one of your chickens is weird. Kind of is the other reason I kind of wrote it off, because all the others ran. But apparently there's people saying this is normal, and I'm like, we had a lot of kinds of chickens. There does not appear to be any story that it's only one species that does this. I'm gonna go over it again, because see, what's weird is that, you know, when you like freeze and you're like this, you know, and then you freeze, that is not normal freezing. You know, I could see in a hunker down and hold still. There's a difference between like hunkering down and hold still and actually freezing, you know, with like food halfway to your mouth or something freezing. And I don't actually even really know any animals that really do that, I don't think. I mean, possums pretend they're dead. I've seen things pretend they're dead. I've seen things like lizards. I mean, if a lizard froze, what's between a lizard freezing and a lizard holding still? There's not much, but just like, see, like this one, his back leg is out, like he's still walking. It's not very balanced. So, I mean, maybe this works for hawks or something, but I've never seen that. They've always run under things for hawks. I've never seen this thing happening. Wait, Buzz Aldrin is dead? I'm not sure on that one. Buzz is still... Let's see. Let me just click on this link, see where it goes. 70-year-old Ghana woman gives birth to twins. 70? Oh, it was in vitro fertilization. Okay. Okay. We have talked about people giving birth later and later, but way back they were saying it was a big deal because somebody in their 50s gave birth with IVF. Now you can have normal birth without IVF in your 50s. So I guess in vitro is back to 70 now. Because they were saying, well, you run out of eggs, but your uterus still works. Well, I guess it works forever now. Yeah, it's like red light, green light. Chickens playing red light, green. Yeah, that kind of freezing. It's red light, green light freezing. If anybody's not like American, I don't know. Red light, green light just means that somebody yells red light and you have to freeze without moving an inch. And then when there's green light, you start running towards them. And then red light, you have to freeze. And anybody isn't able to freeze, they lose. Possums and Christmas trees. Is that a Mandela? Am I looking that up, or is it just a comment to something else? No woman over the age of 50 should be having babies. That's why grandchildren exist. You know, but we're living so much longer now. So we lived at like 100. Some people lived 120. 99 is getting kind of common. So it used to be middle age was like 30, but now it's like 50. So, you know, we have a whole nother body now. So, I mean, if the body chooses to get pregnant at 50, then I figure whatever. It seems a little too tiring for me personally, but okay, let's see. So we got frozen chickens. Must be their new strategy. Yeah, I think I played this one already. I still can't get over it. So people are wondering why she didn't go and poke them, but I think My Life said she did go over and check hers because she thought maybe it like was ill or something when it did that, but okay, now, Sudan pyramids. I have covered Sudan pyramids before. I ran into this, and it reminded me, this is 8 years ago. So I looked them up again, and I see we've got a new thing going on with the Sudan pyramids. See, no, I don't have it there. All right, let me just... So, first of all, there's more of them. They got bigger. Now, I did have these on like twice. They got bigger last time. But I think they're more complete now. They were like... just like mostly bottoms like over here, but now you can see there's complete ones. But the big thing for me was this, that they have these goofy front things now. And I'm guessing that maybe this is a repair up in here, this sandy part, but still, before there was really only these like scrabbly ones, and now we have nearly complete ones. I'm kind of wondering what's going on with this one's like, is this all new, or is like, but they didn't have this front facade thing, whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, like, it almost looks like a, I don't even know how to describe this, but so, and they're big. This is like a tall door here. And then I guess you go through the, what do they call these things? That I've never seen a pyramid with one of these things in front. And I know I've looked at Sudanese pyramids like twice already, and that was not on there. And now, you know, they're all over the place on there. There's another one. This is kind of interesting because it's like, well, if this is the only original pieces, then how did they know these pieces go up there and not here? Did they do it to make it look good? I don't know. So I kind of feel like maybe these will fill in with time. Where am I here? But you can see some of these are fairly finished. That one was only missing a tiny bit at the top. I don't remember there being this many in such close quarters last time I looked either. So I had predicted that we would get more of these, and we have. Ruined the, I did the wrong link, right? I had to start using Google again. It just, the other, there's what they think it looked like. I haven't seen that before. This is interesting. So that was Sudan. So what are these, like shops or something? Or is it like shopping for gods, or like all these little shop fronts or something here? And then they have this kind of Egyptian style stuff on the side. I mean, is that just something we invented for funsies, or did they have evidence it was really like that? You know, it's this blurry. I thought it was some kind of at walker, but it's a camel. My gosh, the neck is so long. See, so many of them now. Miniature pyramids of Sudan, but they're getting bigger. The forgotten Nubian pyramids of Sudan. So since when did they get all like fixed up? It was just like a year ago that I was looking at these without the front entrances. What the heck? There's an entrance but no pyramid. How did that happen? Right, we close you. There's an entrance but no pyramid behind it. These look like they're new. Okay. Well, maybe that's part of it, but see, this one is almost complete. And there's just more of them. All right, so I guess Sudan is really close to Egypt, so the Nubian pyramids are just as magnificent. And of course, everybody forgot about them. Yeah, that's the story. That's the story. All right, so there we go. Addition to the Nubian pyramids. All right, now let's talk about this. This is the thumbnail. It's this white-nosed bearded Saki. And there is a side view. I get he literally does have a giant beard. So what happened was, and look at how weird they got these like brain bumps. I was looking up this guy. We've looked at the white-faced Saki before, And I clicked on the white face Saki. So basically I saw an image of a Saki and I'm like, wait a minute. Monkey. Saki. Did you freeze? Here we go. I type in Saki, monkey. And then I start seeing like this, like, whoa, a tail appears. So I have looked at these Sakis many times, like 3, 4, 5 times over the years since these showed up. And never did there appear such a thing as a giant tail. And suddenly I type in Saki and there were many images of the tail. And it isn't just any old tail. So I think when I saw like all those million images of them all scrunched up, and this is a different one that's also new. You never saw this part. You always saw it like this, right? So I guess I just assumed that they had a little nubby tail back there, which was pretty easy to assume when you see like 300 images of them and you never see anything other than that. And then suddenly a tail appears, a massive tail. And if you just type in Saki, I mean, look at it. That's totally, does that look like a monkey tail? Have you ever seen a monkey tail? Would you ever forget a tail like that? If you saw it, no. I say no. So they have the world's largest tail now. Like, I've been saying that tails have been growing, but I mean, come on. It kind of seems to me like that would be, monkeys used to use their tails for swinging and stuff. This looks very, like, easy snag. I mean, these were tropical creatures. They didn't used to be so furry. The monkeys would have some hair, but you'd see skin under there because it's hot. But they're so furry, you'd think that this thing was in the Arctic or something. Ooh, here's one. Oh, you know what? I think I never even looked up those. That was one do I have it on my list? No, I forgot. Oh, I do have it on there. Toupee monkeys. So, first of all, a tail appeared. Second of all, it's huge. And then I started looking at all the other monkeys, and there are a lot more. There's these toupee monkeys. I don't even think I remember to Google. There were so many. I was like, and this one, and look at the tail. There's more than one Saki monkey. There was only the white face, but now we have all these. This is a different kind. Oh, here's another one. I think that might, no, I don't even know anymore. Rio Tapajos, that's one. Okay, I know what those are. Well, I have not seen those until like earlier today, but you can see all the Sakis have the giant tail, and so I ran into a new Saki and I saw the giant tail, and then I looked at all the others. I'm like, they all have the giant tail now. So one thing that's happening is that the white-faced Saki is now getting like this cousin, which is like I think they call it the crimson or something. It's got this orange face. So now there's like sort of white, really white, or orange face ones. I should have seen that one coming. We're gonna get them. They'll be like M&Ms, where there's every flavor of face in the universe. Okay, so that's the Saki. Oh, look, is that the babies? Oh my gosh. The babies under there? I mean, are they hiding the babies under the tail? Is that the deal? All right, that one's not under the tail. Maybe that's what the tail is going to be for, hiding the baby. Now I'm kind of curious. Let's just go take a quick peek over here. Our new baby monkey. Tiny hands and feet in the fur. Tail wrapped around the back. Huh. It doesn't really say, but now I'm kind of curious. I mean, is that going to be a storyline? They need a giant tail to hide the baby. All right. I did that one. Probably should have done. I couldn't decide which image. I was really looking at one of these as a potential image also, but we have, I think I've had that on the front cover before, minus the tail. So there's another kind. This is equatorial. It's kind of weirdly blurry, and I didn't find a lot of these, but equatorial Saki with the giant floofy tail. That one was that, oh, golden faced. Although it's not, it's more like orange than gold, but. So these are a few I picked out that I just saw was where this guy, cotton top tamarin. I don't think I've seen those. Man, that guy just looks like he's gonna be selling you a used car or something, doesn't it? He looks like he's a Ferengi or something. All right, now these ones we've had on before, these tamarins that look like they have this goblin head, but the difference is I don't remember them having white all in here. I thought they were more just kind of medium colored, not pure Snow White. So the Snow White makes the head just look even more gruesomely creepy, like talking about stuff of nightmares. It's like they have a bat head on a monkey body, and then now we're going to back it with some white fur to add to the level of bizarre. These guys, I don't, actually, now that I look at it, I do think I remember this guy from last one. So I remember those little hats. So, yeah, maybe this is the second time I think I've had that guy on. These ones, I don't think I've had these guys on. These are like the strung out drug addict look or something. Like the waif look. So that one I think is new also. This one's also interesting. So yeah, there's this one here, the Tonkin Snubnose. I think those have gotten a weird mask around the eyes. Let's see if I can get a better view of him. So I've had those on before, but you can see around the blue around the eyes and stuff, it used to be just the weird pouty lips, a little more like that small one over here, but now this older one has got like the goggle face to go with the pouty lips. The lips look a little more extreme as well. Bugging me. Whoops. All right, this one I don't think I've had that one on before either. Not that guy. With the triangle black. I don't think he's been on. You can see how weird all of these look. None of them are just boring. And if they come in boring, they become less boring over time. So that's another interesting thing. They all look like something we invented in a movie. This one, I don't think I've had that one on either with nor that one. That guy's that triangle faced one. I think that's a baby. I'm going to start nicknaming him. That one's Pouty Lips, the Pouty Lip species, but it's Snub Nose officially. This is like the dead, like the skinned alive one. We've had those on before. That one doesn't. I don't think we've had this guy. Really fat orange dude. I do not think he's been on. There's that, I think, is that triangle head again. This one looks like it has upgraded. I think I've had that on, but it just looks way more extreme with the colored leggings. I mean, it looks fake. If I hadn't seen the Mandela, I'd be like, shut up, that doesn't exist. Or they just found the first one ever or something. I don't think we've had those on either. Kirmizi, Kuruklu, Flying Monkey. So, yes, a lot of new monkey. Ooh, what's this one? I don't think I've had that one on either. Jeez, I was just looking through this like hours ago and I didn't even see half of these, I swear. I don't think I've had that one on. That guy looks like a mix between the one I just pointed out and then the bearded, too low-brained one. This one, I don't think I'm suspicious I haven't had that one on. So what, there's like a bajillion of them now. It's getting ridiculous. This one, I don't think he's been on. That's a sloth, okay. It's going to be just like, what the heck are those? Gray woolly. I think that's the one I had on last week. Okay. So maybe these are just popping up because that gray woolly showed up. Then I saw the Saki with the tail today. All right. Anyway, crazy time. No need to worry about, no need to worry about animals going extinct. Exactly. I am so not worrying about that anymore. So many things are showing up, and it's like, any of the time they say something went extinct, I like, oh, such and such went extinct. It's always something I've never heard of anyways. All of the creatures they said were going to go extinct, like the California condor and the bald eagle and the alligators and the pythons and all the fearful, oh, for sure they're going extinct. No, there's bajillions of them now. Bajillions of them. Oh, yeah, remember the polar bears were going to go extinct. Now, they just suddenly were able to swim like 500 miles and stuff. And they're a little skinnier now. But millions of them. I see Restapopoulos in every monkey. Well, maybe they made it. They're modeling him after Restapopoulos. Millions of new wolf species. Yeah, it used to be. Was there more than one for me? I don't think there was even more than one originally. There was wolves. Wolves were wolves. Now, sometimes they would say this one is darker one or a lighter one, but they were all the same species, just a little bit of color variation. Okay, so what else did I save up here? That was the Saki monkey. Okay, this one. This one is so weird. How did I never see this one before? All right, here we go. The movement of a caracal's ears. Movement of his ears. Now, at first I'm like, first of all, this giant poofy thing, I've been watching that grow over the last couple years. These ear ticks and feather thing, whatever they are, they've been showing up on a lot of different cats, and literally they were just like this little thing at first, this cute little thing, and then now it's like half the length of the ear itself's got longer. All right, but now we got some special. I'm thinking, how cool could it be? Yeah, but I'm glad I watched, because here we go. Is that not the weirdest business you have ever seen? Check it out. So that's how they move. Now, I believe that this is a little slowed down. I don't think this is full speed because the eyes are kind of a little slower and stuff. But this is how it starts. And I'm going to show you, I think I have it saved. Oh, I don't know if I saved it. I think I saved it. They show you the slow-mo over and over and over and over. And then the next thing you know, that's the regular speed now. And that is one thing I saw with the lightning. So remember we were seeing all the lightning and it was like all across, and then they're like, oh, well, that's a slow-mo. We have all these good cameras and we're catching it more. But was it today or something? I saw one and they're like, no, that's the normal speed. And you can see people walking around at normal speed. So now what was slow-mo speed is normal speed. Like, oh, you were just mistaken assuming it was slow-mo speed. But actually, this is the normal speed. All right, so, yeah, see, okay. The eyes are slowing down, but it's totally creepy, first of all. And B, I have strong suspicions that it's not going to stay at slow-mo speed, because anything that's cool and awesome tends to come into the reality. All right, let's see. What was... Oh, here's the lightning. Yes, this is the lightning. And then there'll be all these experts on there. Oh, now, didn't you know? That's the normal speed. It's like, reality is so gaslighting. Okay, so now this is supposedly the normal speed. So you can see by the camera it's just moving around normally. This is not like frozen on a tripod with ultra fast shutter speed and all that. No, this is just the speed it is. And you can tell by the movement that's the speed it is. And so now, you know, what used to be for me just boosh, that's it, is now like hanging out nice and slow so you could see it. All right, so the story then was that it hunts for the path. This is the path is hunting. Oh, where's the path? There it is. Boosh, boosh. That's the new story. So it couldn't find it. I don't know where it went to here, though. I guess to another cloud, but check it out. So that's normal speed now. And look at how long that stays. I mean, that's what? All right, it starts at 2 seconds. So it's like 7 seconds or something. There's those new fast seconds though, so it doesn't seem like 7, but let's see. 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5, Mississippi 6, Mississippi 7, so it's about 7 seconds, which is more like 3 seconds. I wanted to say it lasts for 3 seconds, but 3 seconds is now 7 seconds. You can see why I'm late all the time. I still can't remember that seconds are twice as fast. All right, so that just blows me away because that was totally slow-mo. And now I'm learning. It shows you it over and over with an excuse, and then it says, oh no, it was always that way. So total gaslighting. I have seen similar lightning once in my lifetime. It moved in slow motion. Not that the film moved in slow motion. The lightning moved in slow motion. Spreading out in tributaries. Of course, it's the #1 top comment. I've seen lightning do this in Phoenix. It's called spider lightning because it branches out in a web over the clouds until it finds a large enough reservoir of charge to cause a flash. I've seen it do this once in my life. Not that slow, but not far off. Precisely. Now, he says the video is slowed down, but it's not. See, he's saying, okay, it's not that slow, but it's almost that slow. This guy's going, oh no, it's slowed down. This guy comes from last week's timeline. I don't know why, but I've been just like listening to all the Gen Z slang, and I guess they have a slang for like the outdated stuff, and I think they target the millennial style a lot. Like the millennial has had a certain style, and it was kind of this kind of minimalist style. And I guess the Z, of course, has to make fun of the older generation. So they came up with a whole word for like sort of out of date. And the word is chuggy, which is kind of a weird word. Cheugy, I think it is chuggy. And so now I want to just say, well, that's the chuggy version of reality. Like it's so, what did we used to say? Oh, that's so last week. Or something. That was one of the things we used to say a long time ago. Well, now instead of being last week, it's chuggy. So this is the, this guy is on the chuggy version of reality that was last week. Slow, see again, slow motion, and then this person goes, not slow motion unless that car in the background is going Mach speed. Oh yeah, there's a car moving back there. Let's see. Do I see a car moving? Oh yes, there is a car moving right here. Yeah, and it's moving at normal speed. Okay, so definitely not slowed down. But see, all these people are on in Chugi reality versions. Like I was. This is known as Anvil Crawler. This is the new pathfinding algorithm. Yeah, it is new. If this is real, it is incredible. Yeah, see, these people haven't got the update yet. It's interesting, though, just the top ones are all explanatory. Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Oh, it's this. Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Then you get all the people going, oh, yeah, it's slow motion. And then they got to get corrected. This is so classic. And to be fair, I don't think I'm properly using the word chuggy, but I don't care because... You know, as an old person, I have to make the Gen Z people cringe with horror by using their word often and oftenly wrong. Okay, this is a trip. Now, these are models. It's not really a mouth, but although this one's fairly realistic, it is not. But this concept is exploding my brain. This is another one. There's been a lot of weird stuff with teeth. Oh, okay. Way back, the way I remember it is that you had your baby teeth, and then the adult tooth would grow in, like it would grow back there, and then push that baby tooth out. But they weren't. I can't swear to it, but I am pretty sure that the second tooth was not loaded like a shotgun at birth waiting to come down. So when you saw an x-ray, you didn't see teeth and then more teeth and then teeth and all their teeth, and they're all just coming down like a Pez dispenser like we have now. But that's how it is now, okay? And then you get people with like these extra ones, and you get people with like the baby tooth stayed in and the adult tooth had more and I got more. That just didn't happen. Okay. But now they're like, oh, well, there could be all these extra teeth all over the place. Or maybe your tooth just didn't grow there. It went, showed up over here. And so this thing is blowing my mind because first of all, I can't figure out exactly what they're saying here. And then when I come down here, it's kind of vague. Like, is there an extra tooth? I'll show you the video. Then you can kind of see my confusion. All right, so basically they're showing that this person is missing a tooth. And then they're going to get that tooth. And this is just an animation, but it shows you what they do. All right, so they take off the skin piece here and exposes the bone. All right, then they I don't know what they're taking off here. I don't know what that white yellow junk is. Frankly, is it other bone? I don't know, but they're they're doing some kind of grindy thing. Cartilage. They put they glue a cap onto there, like a grabby cap thing with a hook. All right, now they're sticking on like a chain. Bloop. And now they don't do it in 5 seconds, but apparently over the course of either weeks or months, they pull on this tooth. I don't get it, because if it's way over here, then how can you yank it to over there? I mean, does the root just grow and grow and grow and grow? I mean, is the root that long? Now, roots now are really long, but, see, they're just, sliding it over time, and this is showing, the chain yanking, and then there it is all back, and now... wait a minute. And you'll see at some point this one will suddenly show up over here. Okay, so they're showing it up here too. This is interesting. I actually didn't really look at it very well when I was watching. I was so blown away from that one that I didn't notice this. Now, actually, I wonder if that is a real mouth. I don't think it can be because it's too perfect, but then again, I'm not sure. Okay, so they're basically like, there's a tooth under here somehow is the storyline. There is a tooth under there. They expose the tooth, they grab it, and then they have a braces system that drags that puppy. It drags that puppy. And I just don't get it, like, how they get it that far. Now, roots are long, but you can just stretch them out like a big old rubber band, or they just drag along. Now, roots are supposed to be connected to the bottom, so, like, do they just stretch out and still connect, or the connection drags? Like, how could you do this? How could you do it and have it still, like, connected? Or maybe it's like a plant. You know how a plant just has, like, a root floating down there, and you can just, like, you could dig up the dirt and, like, scooch over the plant and then replant it? Is that how teeth are now? Because I thought that they were down in the bone down there. You know, I thought the roots went down. You can just, I mean, this is so wrong. This is so wrong. Okay, so up there, they show it slowly moving into place. Yeah, I think this is probably just a animation graphic, but a nicer one to make it look more realistic. But yeah, my brain is like, boosh. So my question is kind of similar to where everybody else is. A lot of people are like, well, where did that other tooth come from? I mean, do you have a bunch of tooth just hiding down there in the bottom of your mouth? Or did this guy just have an extra tooth down there like some people do? Or did the tooth just grow like way over here? Because I've not really heard of that. Like, I've heard of them coming up kind of cattywampus, but I've never heard like, oh, your tooth is like hiding deep down. You don't see a bump or anything. So do I have teeth like just sleeping underneath my palate? No, the palate's the top. What is the bottom of the mouth? Whatever you call the bottom portion opposite the palate. So of course, what are the first days? A child of mine had this done. Of course they did. His lower canine teeth were laying horizontally under the roots of the surrounding teeth. It had to be drawbridged up and into place. They'd used a chain. I'm 25 and still have a baby tooth because all my real tooth is stuck above between. Oh, so he's got an X tooth. Looks like a roof of the mouth. Okay, maybe that is the roof. I don't know. My son is having this done now. They do it gradually. I had this done on all four of my eye teeth canines. This is what my treatment looked like. I'm having this done right now, and I'm almost 40. Now there's the chuggy version reality of like me, who's not up to town. You know, I didn't get the download. This person is like me. Where did that tooth come from? Like, what? If that was an adult, they don't have extra. Yeah, what? Then someone answers, have you ever seen a baby skull with both sets of teeth? This person must have had a tooth that never erupted. Okay, but it's like down there. Like way down there. Okay, so there's that creepy. And see, this confuses me too, because all right, there's the row of teeth. There's the Pez dispenser reloads right here, right here. This one has one here. This one has one here. This one has one here. Well, what are these things? Like, is it like what? There's extra teeth there. So that confuses me. All right, you can see how long the roots are though. Okay. I think I have. That is one of the things I've been saying, though, is that roots are getting so long. In fact, let me go get, I'm at work, so I have teeth here. Not human, but I'll show you some. Hold on, I'll be right back. have some coyote teeth. Make sure that you can see me. See what's going on. They can pack gums with stem cells and a new tooth will grow. I have heard stuff like that they're getting there. So that's going to be really awesome when they get that, when that shows up in reality. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they just moved the tooth, but I've never heard of there being a tooth like hiding under there. That looks so fake. It must be real. Wait, who said that? That was Elon Musk, wasn't it? Yeah. But it is kind of a commentary on reality, isn't it? But see, what I don't get is, all right, if you have your tooth in there and it's like here, 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 they're just straightening it out, right? They're not like dragging it across the country. That's what gets me. Because I don't get what the roots are doing. The tooth will set you free. Oh, that's terrible, but I like it. Okay, so let me just make sure we can see that. All right. All right, so here is a tooth. I'm hoping that this will, you know, the problem is you can't really see. So when I used to get these, the majority of this was the stuff on the top, like the part you see. And what has happened, though, as these have gotten bigger and bigger, this is the canine teeth in front of a coyote's mouth, the ones that kind of go like that. So what's happened, though, is that from like here down, like 3/4 of this, all of this is root, and then somebody did drill a hole and there's a chip out of the bottom, and that's why this one didn't get sold, because it's defective. But all of this here, let me put it on this side, you can see, okay, all of this is root. Now, it used to be that the majority of the tooth was the top, and I've been watching this change because it's just bizarre that the roots get longer and longer. Now, here is the back molar ones. And again, you can see how much is, you can see better on this one. Unfortunately, it just does not, you can't really, I can't get it to like focus on this, but you can see that even this one, this is all that is on the top of the mouth. All of the rest is underneath, and the roots are just so much longer now, and I've been just watching them grow and grow and grow. And then there was a point where I got confused, because it used to be the root was just the small part, so they're like in there now. So maybe you know, I'm sure that that's an upgrade, right, to have more root, but the root basically goes like down to your kidneys now almost. And maybe that makes it that they can drag it across the universe more. You know, again, I'm looking at this and I'm going, well, if these roots are way over there, then how are you, and see how they're snuggled all in between these other teeth? Like, so how are you getting it like over there? This is interesting, because this front skull here, you see the bottom row and then the new row, and then you only see 2 floating up here. But in this one, it looks like there's 2 on this side and 2 on that side, would be like 4 floating up there. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. Okay, so anyway, I don't know. It just kind of was like, boosh, my brain. My brain. And it's just, again, you see this pattern. Oh, yeah, that's normal for the first 4 or 5. And then finally down there is like the last Tuesday versions of people. I'm going to have to look into it. I've heard about that stem cell thing, but now I'm like, I'm kind of worried, like, the tooth gets like, it's just like grows and starts eating you or something. I don't know. I guess I have too much imagination, but I'm not going to be the first to volunteer. Besides, I have all my teeth. So I'll just keep my old scungy teeth for now. Or maybe for the rest of my life, because who knows what they put in those new teeth. I now don't trust any big pharma anything. Even teeth. Like, all right, let's see. Oh, back one. Was there more? I think I had, nope. I might have goofed up this. Saved. Here we go. All right, got that. We got that. I got that. Okay, Sudan. I think that's everybody. We did that last week. Okay, so that's all of that stuff. Bloop. And I do have some more, but I have like 10 minutes, so let's see. We got monkeys and Kissinger. Frozen chickens. Alright, I think we'll do QAnon Shaman. I have 10 minutes for QAnon Shaman. Alright, remember what you remember about those who have watched that whole Capitol riots thing or whatever. There was that goofy guy with the horns and the face paint. Okay, QAnon Shaman is what they're calling him because supposedly he espoused this QAnon theories. But what do you remember about how he looks like? Like, what did his face paint look like? What did his horns look like and his headdress thing? And kind of just like try to remember in your mind. Yeah, see, they didn't clarify, and I kind of tried to look into it, and they're like, some people are saying, well, that was just one of his unerupted teeth, but then other people were saying, well, sometimes you just have extra teeth down there. Like there are other ones. Like you have some backups in the Pez dispenser, like more than a single row. So then they're like, well, if they have an extra tooth down there in the middle, they can just pull that one over. And that's why I was like, And I've never heard of it. And I've looked into the new teeth thing, and just then they're like, people had a chain. I mean, like, I knew a lot of people who had braces. Nobody had like a chain going to a tooth in the middle of their mouth that they're dragging across country to slide into place. It was crazy towns. Okay. I think it was face paint, body paint. But like, do you remember the patterns and stuff? I might be like, being too picky on the patterns, but I think that they have changed, basically. I mean, the overall look is the same. Horns. Oh, that's interesting. You remember that. Okay. Groundskeeper Willie was the shaman. Yeah. He had horns. He had furry hat. Oh, it's interesting. Okay. Maybe there's more than one timeline here. He processed and won organic food in prison, which is impossible. Nobody would ever do that if it wasn't QAnon Shaman. A lot of people think that guy was a stooge. I'll tell you, like, people who stole a lectern got 3 months in prison, and they didn't get no organic food. Nobody in the entire prison gets organic food except for QAnon Shaman, and they hate the Capitol riot people. But he, I mean, like, come on, you can't even get like medical attention for a rotted tooth when you're in prison, but he got organic food. There's something really weird about all that. Really weird. So I do think he's changed for me. I don't know for everybody else, but so he now has the American flag on there, basically. There's like red, white, and blue with some spots that are like stars. I just don't remember the red part. I'm pretty suspicious about the white part. I just remember blue, that's it. And there was no flag. I mean, like, I remember looking and going, what is that face paint even? It's just some paint. But now it's the flag. It makes sense. Okay. And then he's carrying the flag. He's got the flag. All right, that makes sense. The second thing I will say is that I sell coyote tails. These are coyote tails. And looks like there's another one across here. But when I saw him originally, I could not tell what the fur was. Now, this is obviously coyote tails. So obviously I've been selling them for 10 years. I know what coyote tails looks like. It wasn't that. It was this scungy kind of a fur. Like, I was like, and then the hat. And it was sort of, it kind of looked like he took a pelt and kind of cobbled it together. It wasn't horrible looking, but it wasn't all fluffy tails and as nice as this. Okay, that's number 2 thing I noticed. Number 3 thing is I don't remember any of these tats. I saw somebody mention all these tattoos on the arm and stuff. I don't remember any of them at all. And I have said before that that's where the tattoos love this timeline. I keep sliding into the tattoo timelines. Okay. 4th thing I think I'm on. The 4th thing. Ooh, there's the 5th thing. Okay. The 4th thing is I sell horns and antlers. And he had, right now it looks like these might be fake ones. They're all glossy and black. And I think they're just like resin or something. Now, the ones he had were like buffalo ones. I'm pretty sure they were buffalo and they were real. Buffalo ones are smaller and he had them higher on the head. And they look kind of too small for his head. But buffalo horns are just weird. They're just small. Okay. So it wasn't the perfect horn to use. But hey, you know, you can't always get the exact horn. I mean, like I sell them so I can just be all picky. But so it looked kind of cool, but these horns were a little undersized and they were a little higher up on the head. Now they're to the side and they look like they're fake. And this is the 3rd thing, because I just noticed this. He did not have a spear. That's a dangerous looking device. It looks like it is sharpened. You could hurt somebody with that. He just had like a staff thing. And I don't even think he had the flag, frankly. I think he had a staff with some furry boobities and like beads. Now I'm going to take a look at some other pictures to see if I can find those, but I don't remember any sharp thing. I don't remember the flag. So now we got 2 flags in here. Frankly, I was a little bit like, I don't think he was even that clearly attached to QAnon. He just kind of got like that name, but he has a spear now, so he has a weapon, is my point. He didn't have a weapon. He had this dorky, stupid staff. Well, I mean, it wasn't stupid, but it wasn't dangerous like this, because this has a sharp point, and he didn't have the flag. He had, it was a shamany thing, you know, like a kind of a gooby staff with little dingle dangles on it. And so those things have all changed for me. And if you look, you also see the horns are all like goofy sideways. They're way more sideways and way longer for me. And they're not like lined up on his head very well. So like you see a lot of images and they're sort of like one's down more and one's up more. So there you go. Not sure on that necklace, but yeah. So no Sharpies. No Sharpies. You know, that was kind of one of the things. I don't remember anybody having a weapon at all. But he did. Now, in the current timeline. I think that's all. Let me see if I can find a pull away so you can see. You can see that those tats are really obvious. I would have seen them. I always check out the tats on people, especially because the timeline is bringing them in. And they say a lot about people, so I do look at the tats. And then I saw this faraway one of him, and I'm like, what the hell is that thing on his stomach? There's some weird tat that looks like I don't know what that is. And you got bricks over here, like a brick pattern. And then you have a reverse brick pattern here. And then you got like kind of a, I don't know, I don't know what these are. Then those weren't on him before. But I'm like, this one for some reason really bugs me because I just don't think I wouldn't have seen that. Because the minute I look at him and be like, what's that on his stomach? So for me, it's changed. Yeah, those are fake ones, but he had real ones, and I I was pretty sure they were buffalo. I can't, maybe it was some small cow or something, but they were a little bit grayish, and a little like the buffalo that hasn't been shined. They're kind of gray and kind of crusty looking. They're not all shiny black like that. So, I'm like, oh, those, buffalo horns are really not that. Let me see if I can find one. They're kind of like, they're not, no, they're not that curved. Okay, I need bison horns. That's the word I really want to say. It's not water buffalo. It's the buffalo that's bison. There we go. There we go. Ooh, okay, those are those are polished ones, but I don't think what he has on is polished ones because his are not fat enough and not long enough. Do you see that they were this natural style that he had, which is here it is on a bison. That was what I thought he had. And it had this look, like actually kind of interesting because I don't remember them getting polished where you smack on things either. But yeah, it was this look. And they're kind of small. Doesn't have to be sharp to hurt someone. Yeah. But either way, I remember him just having a staff, so it made him look, more passive. He didn't look like a warrior. He looked like a shaman. In fact, saying that his health was suffering because the prison food was bad for him. Prison food's bad for everybody. People have starved to death in prison. Because they just don't care and they lost like 100 pounds and they don't give a butt. And that's why I'm like, there's no way. I mean, maybe because there was a lot of press, but yeah, it's just really strange to me. I mean, people have literally starved to death because they'll have like a stomach ailment. They won't eat and they'll complain and complain. And then the prisons be like, I don't care. Not my problem. More what I remember is black paint on half of the face, not bright blue. Oh, interesting. I remember blue and no other color is what I remember. He looks more grizzly. Yeah, I wasn't sure on the beard and stuff. It seems a little different. So, yeah, but he wasn't that American before. He had more of that South American shaman look. And he wasn't screaming red, white, and blue. He looked like a shaman. I was, when I saw him before, I was like, is that guy, even there for the Republicans? Maybe he's just along for the ride like a nut, because there wasn't anything really obvious. Like, if I was a Republican going to a Republican event, I wouldn't dress as a South American shaman, and that was kind of my feeling when I saw him the first time. I'm like, why is he wearing that? But now it is. Okay, she's got one. I gotta go soon because I'm more like that. Yeah, but they were, smaller, much smaller. Like half that size and gray for me. And that top of the hat was fuzzy. And there was some like dangles of fur, but not all floofy like those pretty little foxtails. I know a foxtail when I see I know a coyote tail when I see a coyote tail. Totally different. It could be. I'm not good at faces, ironically. So I don't want to say anything. I was a little, maybe. I'm not good at faces. I'm good at like all the rest, but not at faces. So yeah, interesting. You think it could be. Like I said, I suck at faces enough that I can see if they're like really different, but it is kind of skinny white guy with a beard still. So, wag the dog. Yeah, I don't know. What happened to Space Force? Space Force is in charge of a bunch of weird electronic stuff now, last I heard. They are busy. Like, they're in charge of satellite communications and stuff like that. I do think I mean, there's a whole bunch of false flag stuff on there because there's a bunch of feds leading it and all this stuff. I don't really trust anything in the reality, though. I mean, it seems like there's a bunch of feds leading BLM, and there's a bunch of feds everywhere anymore. Do we have anything besides feds? Or maybe the feds are just in there to make the show more entertaining for us viewers. I don't know. All right, I gotta run because it's getting about that time. So you know the drill. Think good thoughts, everybody. Thank you for coming. This is Eva signing off for Once Upon a Timeline.